So, ladies and gentlemen, after Mr. Holness slapped the People's National Party with the steady increase proposal of the minimum wage starting next year, should they form the next government, there will be a steady increase in the minimum wage until it reaches the livable wage of $32,000 per week. This is the answer that the People's National Party have for the Jamaica Labour Party. The minimum wage should not be politicized. Then I say, oh really now? So, when you propose to give a tax break, to increase the tax threshold to $3.5 million to benefit those persons who are already rich, because the poorer persons are already benefiting now from the current tax threshold that is at $1.7 million. So you notice that the average persons does not pay income tax. They don't pay PAYE. So when he proposed that, ladies and gentlemen, which will cause the poorer class of people to be taxed in order to pay for that, isn't that politicizing the income tax threshold? Now, if you want to say that the minimum wage should not be politicized, then why didn't you say that in your manifesto? Why didn't you address the minimum wage problem in your manifesto? And why didn't you make proposal to deal with it? You have heard the people for many ages. I mean, they have always been talking about that the minimum wage is too low, and that the minimum wage can't buy anything. Why you as the opposition, a person seeking to be in power, why didn't you come up with something even better than what Mr. Holness proposed last night? Why didn't you come up with something better? And you have heard the people and you say that you're for the people. Why didn't you come up with something? Why didn't you come up with that? Why didn't you come up with that? Why did you allow the Jamaica Labour Party to come up with that? Why didn't you, the People's National Party, come up with that, since you're saying that the minimum wage should not be politicized? Ladies and gentlemen, if it should not be politicized, then, ladies and gentlemen, why didn't you propose it? Why did you have to allow the Andrew-led administration to propose it? Why didn't you come with it? And why didn't you say then that since we don't believe that the minimum wage should be politicized, we are not going to campaign on it. But if we should form the next government, we would ensure that the minimum wage will be at a livable wage. We will remove from the minimum wage status to a livable wage status. Instead, you allow the Jamaica Labour Party, who have always been delivering, ladies and gentlemen. Let me tell you something. The Jamaica Labour Party have always been delivering. They are the one from they took office who have been giving us a steady increase on the minimum wage. And by giving us a steady increase on the minimum wage, they are encouraging more people to work. And by encouraging more people to work, this will stimulate the economy. Because when the minimum wage becomes a livable wage, ladies and gentlemen, then the man who is on the corner is not going to want to be on the corner anymore. He's going to want to go to work. Then I hear somebody say, well, that doesn't sound like it is something that is practical. How can the housekeeper, who is going to be able to afford to pay housekeepers $32,000 per week? Then I said, if the minimum wage, if I've shifted from the minimum wage status to the livable wage status, then it means, ladies and gentlemen, that it is not just a housekeeper that is getting a raise. Everybody is getting a raise. So the employers will be able to pay to pay their housekeepers without breaking their budgets, because they will be getting a lot more. And you must understand, ladies and gentlemen, that a livable wage, if the government is removing the minimum wage regime and introducing the livable wage regime, it means, ladies and gentlemen, that those who have not been working for minimum wage will be getting far more than the $32,000 per week. They will be getting more than that. So yes, they'll be able to pay their domestic workers without breaking their budget. And a person may be saying, well, we can't believe what Mr. Holness says, but didn't Mr. Holness make a promise to increase the income tax threshold, and did he not do it? Did he not increase the minimum wage 3 times since he took office? Did he not do it, ladies and gentlemen? And next year, should we elect him, is he not going to do what he said? He always do what he says when it as pertaining to the minimum wage. But what a lot of persons don't understand is that you can't give it all at once. You have to give it gradually. And what I've seen him done, ladies and gentlemen, is gradually increasing the minimum wage. And this is the reason why you find more people working now than when the PNP left office. When the PNP was voted out, ladies and gentlemen, the unemployment rate was very high. Every corner you see people digging out their hand middle saying nothing isn't happening for them. Now, ladies and gentlemen, what is happening now is that the jobs are being created, but the government is trying to make the salaries attractive by moving away from the minimum wage regime to the livable wage regime. That way, ladies and gentlemen, when the employers offered you good wage, you'll be encouraged to work. And that will help to build the economy, because the government now will be able to collect their taxes, because more people will be spending. Instead of tucking away money, people will be encouraged to spend money because more money is coming into them. So they will have more money. They will be taking on more money, so they'll have more money to spend. So what is going to happen when they go to the supermarket, when they go to the clothes store and all of that to buy goods and services, the government will be able to get more taxes. Instead of keep saying that we're going to move up the income tax threshold, ladies and gentlemen, the income tax threshold is not going to work. By depending on the income tax threshold, that's not the only thing that the government should be looking at in order to give people back something to take home. Giving them a livable wage is a very smart move. And if the opposition saying that it should not be politicized, they are being hypocritical. Why were they politicizing then the $3.5 million threshold that they promised if they are elected they would do? That is politicizing it. So when I hear them talking certain things, ladies and gentlemen, I have to wonder if these people were drinking rum. They drink too much rum, so they come out and start talking rubbish under their liquor. Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you this. We, the Jamaican people, need to stop allowing these people to brainwash us, because the People's National Party are known for making promises, and when they come to deliver it, ladies and gentlemen, they have not delivered. Or rather, the Jamaica Labour Party, who make promises and fulfill them. How many promises the Jamaica Labour Party have not fulfilled? Very few. And we're not expecting them to be perfect. Give them time, ladies and gentlemen, to fulfill all that they have promised. Give them time to finish the work that they have started, ladies and gentlemen. Why are you going to stop in the middle? Why are you going to stop the house when it's almost completed? Vision 2030, ladies and gentlemen, that the Jamaica Labour Party have proposed It's on track. Why should we vote them out and stop it? Because the other administration will stop it. They're not going to continue with it. Because right now, they don't even know how their 3.5 million is going to be funded. Every minute they come up with something different. Ladies and gentlemen, think.